like still copy equipment? What you found that you really like to work with? Or what is the most fun to work with?
Oh, they all work. They all work. I mean, it's just different. I mean, each one has its own problems, you know. This last one was mostly about lighting, you know. It's really to get the lighting and the holes to get the expressions. At the time, I was having a ball when that's going so much. Having a ball. But, you know, each film requires a different style. And each film, because you're doing it, brings out a different emotion. You're a different person. You know, and that's what Killers was a much more chaotic person at that time. And by the time I got to Nixon, you know. So each time I'm in a different place, you have to understand that. That's what leads you. You know, you follow, and that's great because at least it gives you some freedom. What if I had to adapt my emotions and my entire way of life to what they wanted me to do? You know, knock on wood, keep some freedom. So, ma'am, you're involved.
Yeah, I was wondering, when you're starting to develop a project with actors, how open are you to their interpretation of the character?
How will you develop projects with actors?
Yeah, how open are you to their interpretation to the character?
Oh, it's a collaboration, believe me. We all, there's no, it really is. I mean, the actor, it's in his interest. He's generally very sensitive and does care to work with the director. You know, those who don't is not really the ones I want to work with. So it's a great symbiotic relationship, as it is with the DP, as the production designer, the writer. It's not the hierarchy, it's not a military hierarchy quite the way you think it is. And a good director, I think, is a person who asks questions. But he asks questions in the same way, perhaps Socratic way, that makes the person perhaps think in a different way. Yes, sir, and the beard in the back. Flawless.
There's been a bittersweet relationship between Hollywood and Hollywood North. For instance, Governor Schwarzenegger has said in the media that he'd like to see less American filmmakers film in Canada. And on the other side of things, from the Canadian perspective, because we're dominated by American films all the time within our domestic market, what kind of balance needs to be made between Hollywood and Hollywood North?
What kind of balance do I see made?
What needs to be made between Hollywood and Hollywood North?
I don't have a clue, because, you know, I shot a movie in Canada in '73 called Seizure, up in Montreal Lake District. And I noticed you have a little Montreal film industry, a pretty good one. And then there was a little bit of a Toronto industry. So I saw the nascent, and the French one was more productive, it seemed to me, because they had their own very tight market. And they had little French Montreal comedies and stuff. I don't know if they still make them. Because they probably make them for television, I don't know. They still make French films in Montreal? That's great. There were some lovely women in those films. The most beautiful women in the world. Toronto was rougher. It was rougher. I was there too. I was working with a guy called Harold Greenberg who had Bellevue Pate Labs. He weighed about 350 pounds. He was the original Harvey Weinstein. He could eat you for lunch. So he was a tough and intimidating man. But I don't know what the difference is. You know, you'd have to, the Canadian directors that come to America, they seem to work very well, you know. But what is it specifically in the Toronto or Anglo-Canadian character that's different from the English? I'm not an expert. I don't know what to say. Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what your opinion of university film schools and whether they're worthwhile and what students should demand from their professors or expect from them.
Well, you have, you know, this is such a, when I went to film school, it was just NYU, USC, and UCLA, maybe a few others, but this is really a lot of schools now, so this is an amazing change. It's a revolution. I don't know where it's all going. The competition must be far, far more intense. The work level expected must be much higher. Expectations. At the same time, you have niches and jadedness, as he said. You know, you have this breakdown of the image. There's so much image on TV, so much image, that it's devalued. It's like currency. I think if I were here at this time, I would stick to story, and I would tell a great story if I could, with incisive and witty dialogue if possible, and it would be something that would last. I'm trying to write something that would last, because I think in the end that's the only thing you can do. And that doesn't leave many choices to the other people, because not everyone can write that kind of thing. But there are much more media and much more jobs. I don't know what the needs of all your students are. But certainly if there's got a school here now in Regina, then there's got to be schools in Saskatchewan, in Edmonton and stuff, you know, so is there going to be a lot on the market? You tell me.
I just wondered about, you know, whether we're doing a good job, what the students, what inspired you when you were a student? Because when I read about your history, you know, that NYU was a good experience for you, that it...
No, it was a lively school, but it was just brand new, you know, it was make films, get the 16 millimeter, the 8 millimeter, get whatever you can get. Make 3 minutes, 2 minutes, work your way up to 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 9, 12, whatever. I was trying to make a feature film out of 22 minutes. I was over ambitious. But I did make a lovely 12-minute film, but I based it on personal incidents in my life, and I think if you keep it personal, you can express yourself. When you can express yourself with a camera like you can with a pen, you're reaching, you're getting someplace. That's the first step you can. So I really believe in production. At the same time, I really believe in theory. In other words, seeing the old films, having a good, inspired teacher. And I believe in the screenwriting class. I think screenwriting is undervalued. It used to be. I put a fund together at NYU for screenwriters to make them concentrate on screenplays, because in my day, they didn't even write screenplay. They didn't care about screenplay. It was all good on. So, and then on top of that, take courses in Greek mythology and philosophy. Get out of the school, too. I went to acting school in New York. I also went to ballet school, believe it or not. Modern dance school. Because there was a girl there that was a teacher, and I was wild about it. But I learned to work with actors a little bit, and then we had, because I didn't want to just work with student actors, so we went to classes and actors, and I had scenes. I was not a great actor. But New York was a vibrant country that way.
Anyway,
I'm falling asleep. I gotta get ready for 7.
I'm told that our time is up, so please thank